Los Angeles Rams are world champions. A Lombardi trophy for Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Rams are world champions. A Lombardi trophy for Los Angeles.
The Ramilia Sports Report is now live.
The Ramilia Sports Report is not filmed in front of a studio audience.
What is up, my Ramilia fans of the defending champion, NFC West champion, LA Rams? Hope everyone's doing great on this Monday, Monday Nitro. Thank you guys for coming in. I forgot about, I came in the other day with my Puka Nakua figure. So I hope everyone's having a great Monday. For Monday Nitro. Thank you guys for joining me. It's been a hot day, and right when I was going to come on, funny things. I'm like, "Where's the internet?" Spectrum drives me nuts, man. At the wrong time, I had to reset the router, reset the, just unplug everything, and then it came on, and I'm just sitting here, I'm waiting for it. So I apologize for the delay, but hope everyone's having a great Monday, like I said, and but yeah, it's we're almost getting to the end of training camp. Aaron Donald already made his appearance, and he looked good, and the notable guys, Stetson Bennett is looking focused, and he's looking like the guy that we thought he was going to be when we first drafted him. Terrence Ferguson is doing his thing. Now, there's an interesting thing that a lot of people are talking about in camp is Stetson Bennett. Let me get the chat up. Hold on. Stetson Bennett has, quarterbacks get comfortable with certain guys. The chat will be up right now. Sorry about that. Certain quarterbacks are comfortable with certain guys, and he likes Davis Allen. I got a clip for you today of that. Also, my guy OJ Willie Bowen's dude, wide receiver, Xavier Smith, likes catching the ball from Stetson Bennett, and so that's some of the talk going around in camp is Stetson Bennett's looking really good. We're going to have to, and I said this before. I didn't see why we wouldn't keep him on the roster. I mean, we've seen how injuries can derail seasons, but the guy basically he gave up 1 year, redshirted, because of the mental health issue or the personal issues that he was going through. So he basically gave up that year, and it was much needed. In the last couple of years, he's just been looking at keeping his nose straight and looking under the tutelage of Matthew Stafford, and he looks a lot more confident. McVay even said that he's got a different look in his eye, and he's not afraid to make mistakes now. He's just doing his thing. When you play tight and you're afraid to make mistakes, that's when you start messing up. But he's looking good. Jarquez Hunter is another guy that's looking great. Jordan Winnington looking great. Stafford went to see a back specialist, and that's just to see if they can put a timetable on it. If there's something that they're not doing, that they could help him in his coming back from a sore back. And again, no one has told us, well, how he got a sore back. He just has a sore back. It's like, well, he was in OTAs, he was fine, like my guy Stockton said. But that's why I think he'll be fine. But you do not want to go into scrimmage against the Cowboys and have somebody, hit them when they're not supposed to. And it has nothing to do with a game that's meaningful, except for just missing much needed reps with the Devontae Adams and the other guys. But the one good thing is Jimmy Garoppolo's looked good in camp as well. Looks comfortable too. The secondary is playing really well. Nate Landman has made a name for himself. The green dot middle linebacker. He looks to be the real deal when it comes to our defense, leading the way. And then the young guys will probably rotate with Troy Reader, and we'll see what happens with that. I'm looking forward to the secondary with Witherspoon, Jalen McCullough, and all of the this is Kobe Durant's contract year, so hopefully he'll break out as well. We've been waiting for him to take the next step from his rookie year, and he kind of got hindered after the Jalen Ramsey trade, and then he was banged up a little bit, and Quentin Lake's out there, and Cam Kitchens, and just so on and so forth. Just a bunch of young guys that have skill set, but they have to continue to play at the pro level. But we do have some great young prospects, and so let's get into this chat. We'll see what happens here. Brian Smith says, at Daniel Dam. It's I'm watching, but eating dinner, so probably Amy can't comment much yet. You're good. My guy Willie Bowen, how you doing, brother? OG Willie Bowen. When Stafford retires, who will be the starting QB? That's the talk. Arch Manning, I think. Listen, we would love to get an Arch Manning, but is that? I kind of tweeted this. Is that like playing possum? Misdirection. Like if we get him, we get him because we have our number one pick. And I don't expect the Falcons to do really well. If they do, we still have 2 number one picks and more assets, a second round pick to throw into to get closer to get one of the quarterbacks. Because there's like 3 or 4 great quarterbacks, especially with Sean McVay there. And but I saw something. I get a chance to clip it. I saw something. Our guy, if you remember, and I like them, D-Mac and Travis Rogers from the Rams, ESPN LA, and the Rams, what are they called? Rams. It's like, anyway, the podcast with D-Mac comes on with Travis Rogers. And remember, I kind of, Travis Rogers was on my S list a little bit because he was giving up on the Rams last year. Remember when we were hurt and Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp were out? The Rams were started out slow, and he's saying, well, this basically he was saying this season's over. I'm like, what? As soon as we get our guys back. Now, had we got him back later, that could have been right. But you're already throwing dirt on us, and then later on he would say, well, I was just being a realist. No, dude, that's one thing to be a realist, but there's nothing to give up on the team that you're covering. And he's doing the same thing with Stetson Bennett. I saw him today talk about, and then D-Mac, I got to talk to him too about that a little bit. He kind of like agreed with them. They're talking about Stetson Bennett. Now, Stetson Bennett, we haven't seen the real Stetson Bennett. The real Stetson Bennett stand on up because he was dealing with mental issues or mental health issues, allegedly. He needed to get himself straight. He hasn't had a lot of good reps with the team, but now that he's on focus and he's doing things, and I'll stand by this again, what Brock Purdy is doing with the Niners, Brock Purdy has less skill set when it cut than Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett's a little bigger body frame. He's just as quick and agile. He's got a stronger arm. He's got swag and personality. He's a leader. Brock Purdy's been a great story. You can't fault what he's done with that team. Great team around him. He's proven that he can do things when the team isn't as good as the Niners. Because when there's an even-keeled team, then to me he looks like average Joe. He's running around and still trying to make plays to his credit. But when the team has a good pass rush and they're just as good as the Niners, he doesn't look like the difference. To me, Stetson Bennett can do the same thing. He has to prove that he can do it, though. He hasn't, because he hasn't really, the Rams aren't trying to start him. But now that he's got his head on straight, I mean, why can't he do? Look at Jimmy Garoppolo. Everyone says, look, he's a good backup, but he's not a starter. Well, he went to the Super Bowl. So if a Jimmy Garoppolo and a Brock Purdy can get the Niners to the Super Bowl, I think that a Stetson Bennett, who's a two-time national champion, and the same kind of skill set with the agility and not having to make a play on every play because we got we got players all around him. He could get us pretty deep far in the playoffs in the future if we don't draft a guy, or if we draft a guy and he doesn't turn out. Keep him around, and he's an older player. He's not like a younger player, meaning he's a few years younger. He's a few years older than a regular rookie, and so, but he's still young in quarterback years. So. I'm not closing the book on Stetson Bennett as far as being productive with the Rams. I'm not saying that he's going to be the heir apparent, but give him a shot. I mean, he's there already. That's all I'm saying, and he's not costing anything. Brian Smith says, might have to think about a 9-8, 8-9 season if we were to rely on Jimmy G if Staff can't go. Yeah, you never know with the injuries, but I think he'll be fine for game time, man. Really, I do. But even with Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, 2 games, 3 games, mixing in here and there. I don't think that Stafford would be out any more than one or 2 games if he didn't play during the year. Sign of the cross. But we can still win with Jimmy Garoppolo because we can run the ball. We have a defense. We won with Baker Mayfield when he was coming off the scrap heap. So we'll see what happens with that. Willie Bones, what's up? Jack 42, love it. Brian Smith says, Arch is slightly faster than Golf and Stafford. No thanks. Yeah, he's. If you want to go away from the classic statuesque in the pocket passer, but we kind of want a little mobile quarterback, because how much easier if your quarterback is a good arm and he makes good decisions and he takes care of the ball and he knows when to fold him, knows when to hold him, he knows when to run the ball, Kenny Rogers, and keep the sticks moving, and then make a nice pass down the sidelines, or use the pump fake or draw guy. I mean, draw guys off sides, move your head, pump fake, shake and bake. The guys, defenders in front of you, if you have some agility, pump fake and then go around them. Put the ball out like Russell Wilson to get the first down. There's a lot of things that guys can do to be effective. But I'm not throwing dirt on Stetson Bennett, because I think he'd be pretty good in the right situation. And then it's up to him how far he wants to go, man. Because look at Sam Darnold. They were throwing dirt on him. Jimmy Garoppolo, look what he looked like with the Raiders. Look what he did with the Niners, though, because he had a great team around him. Well, there's the Rams with a great team around him. There's a lot of examples. I mean, back in the day, of Doug Flutie, little guy, smaller guy, just a lot of guys. The guy that I thought was horrible, but he was with the Steelers and he still won. What's his name? The quarterback, Stewart. His last name Stewart. What's his face? Colin Kaepernick. The guy had a cannon for an arm, but he'd make stupid decisions. But he got them to the Super Bowl. So you just don't know, man. But remember, we've had the Mark Rippons, we've had the Tony Banks, we've had the John Wolfords starting at one time or another. Stetson Bennett can do something. Jacques Ford, don't be surprised if Jimmy starts a season opener. You never know, man. Lockdown Rams, thank you. Yeah, Lockdown Rams. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you, one Kelly Ram ESG. Appreciate you. Brian Smith says, hit the like button. Thank you, guys. Yes, hit the like button. Come back. I appreciate you guys so much. I forget to do that. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hit the like, and also if you haven't subscribed, subscribe so we can be here more often. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you, guys. And if you guys have any questions or want to talk about anything in the chat, feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll and remind me too if I miss it, because sometimes get to showing clips and you run a little late. I'll have to skip around so we get everybody's takes in. But yes, indeed. Let's see. Thank you, Brian Smith. Brian Smith says, can Arch even pass? I've never seen it. He was a backup to a 7th-round draft pick. Great comment. Listen, excuse me, biting my tongue. I'm a USC fan, so I don't know. I've seen some highlights where he looks like he's pretty good. He's got really great, pedigree. Being a Manning, and but I don't know. I would have loved to have Caleb Williams the year before. SM, how you doing, brother? Rudy, how you doing, brother? Appreciate you coming in. Thank you. SM says Jimmy is not starting week 1. LOL. People are being dramatic. They kind of make us curious, but at least we have Jimmy Garoppolo. I'll just say that because with Matthews, listen, it's Jimmy Garoppolo with a good head on his shoulders because Sean McVay has kind of did the Jared Goff with him. Brought him along. Got him hyped up, and he's got a good. Don't do the way that Sean McVay can get you hyped up, man. Sean McVay is one of the main reasons why I'm very confident if Jimmy Garoppolo had to play because Sean McVay knows what he's doing. Let's see. Let's get into the Sean McVay clip. It may be Jimmy Garoppolo, but he might be talking about something else. I didn't get a chance to label it. Here we go.
I'm trying to come up with a question you haven't been asked about Matthew Stafford yet.
Yeah.
About your
quarterback. Well, then let's go ahead and not.
Well, how do you prepare an offense when I guess your guy's not there?
Well, here's the thing. When he does get back out here, there's nothing like watching number 9 operate and the rapport and the
Yes, Cordell Stewart.
communication, nonverbal understanding. I love him, and I feel really fortunate that he's leading the way. I'll tell you what else I feel fortunate is to have a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo and watching Stetson and him continue to grow. Dave Ragone leading the way with that room, and really Matthew leading the way as well. It's been really fun, but what's been fortunate is when you do have a great player like Jimmy Garoppolo, you're able to try to run, your offense, do some of the things that we would do with Matthew. We know how fortunate we are to have Matthew, but because of, having Jimmy, you can be smart and err on the side of caution, which is the right thing to do for Matthew and for our football team. And we'll anxiously await the opportunity for him to get back out there leading the way. But I do think that, if you look at it as a half glass full, you say, all right, we want him out here, but in the meantime, these guys are getting better, and then number 9 will be ready to go and lead the way
when time comes. Number 9 will be ready to lead the way. Yes, indeed. Thank you, man. Cordell Stewart. Yes, indeed. And yes, that I saw that, man. I so wanted to go, but everybody and their grandma is going to be getting that. August 8th is Kobe Bryant bobblehead day at Dot. Man, how many Niner fans are going to be over there with it? with a crossed out Samuel on the back of the jersey and the Dodger cap on. Oh man, but that'd be cool to get one of those. Brian Smith says 20 people in this chat and only 7 likes. Are there only 13 with 40 Vaginas fans lurking in the chat? Thank you. Yeah, guys, I know I do the same thing. I'm watching, I'm doing other stuff. Hit the like, come back. It helps everyone. Helps people find the algorithm. And now that we have a regular schedule, we can be here now. It won't be so helter-skelter like it was earlier in the year. So I appreciate you guys. And thank you, Brian Smith. I appreciate you. SM says, remember 2023 training camp, Stafford had that thumb injury and it started week 1 and still started week 1. No back is different, but Stafford is the toughest QB. Yeah, the guy, exactly right. And also, too, because we have a Jimmy Garoppolo, and I know that we're not going to be the biggest fans of having him start, we're looking to hold up the Lombardi again. So if he had to start week 1, okay, that gives him 2 more weeks to recover, but we're not wanting that. But at least we can get together. We can get a win with Jimmy Garoppolo, the porn star. Porn star Jimmy led us to the victory, green face smile. He almost got us that game against the Seahawks, man. The Seahawks had every, in the beginning they were trying to win that game because of the way that everything went out. But I think they find out right before the game that it didn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. Yes, so Jake Alamoga said he's not worried about 9. I'm not worried either. I really don't. I think he'll be fine. That's why they're careful with him. That's why they got bubble wrap on him. Because, even though he's a warriors, we don't need to rush him into, we've got good players, man. I mean, remember when Kurt Warner, with the greatest show on turf, jacked up his hand, and Mark Hughes Bolger had to come in and do his thing while he came back. But We can win without. We will. If Matthew Stafford can't go for week 1, you're going to hear Sean McVay with tears in his eyes saying, "We will rally around Jimmy Garoppolo and play Rams football." Going like this. Remember that clip of Dick Vermeil? We will rally around Jimmy Garoppolo and play good football. SM says, Jimmy played well against the Seahawks starters last season, but I still hope yeah, for sure. Because listen, he's a backup quarterback. Let's just say it this way. Forget that he's a backup quarterback. When you have a Stafford and then you have to use the backup, whoever it may be, it kind of sucks. It does suck. So, but I think if we have to, and again, the Texans aren't a juggernaut. It'll be the first game. They had an off year last year. They're going to play better this year, but we should still be able to take care of them. Mark Hugebone. Yeah, that's what we used to call Mark Hugebone. Francisco, I do, brother. Maybe he was throwing Paulo. Let's see. The good news, though, too, is the other guy to keep an eye on, and we've been talking about it, is Alaric Jackson. Reps with the starters. And let's see. But listen, let's go with let's look at our guy AD in camp with Les Snead. We'll give you guys a little. AD was in camp the other day, and here we go.
Got
a quick
Rams
clip.
horns. This is a very futuristic, elaborate costume.
Oh, hold on, that's not the right clip. Hold on. So this is a power. Now you guys have probably seen. Sorry, I mislabeled this one. You guys have probably seen the Ramulator guy. Ramulator. The Ram Predator. I think he won Fan of the Year or something. You guys, the Ramulator. I'm the Ramulator. So you got the Ram Predator. You got I see a Stormtrooper Ram a Stormtrooper Ram in the tailgating, and now you got a Ram Power Ranger. Go Power Rangers! Hold on. I'm trying to find a good fit here. Let's just do it this way. Let's see. Here we go. All right, let's just do it that way. Just leave it. Here we go. Let's let it play, Rudy. Here we go.
Got Rams horns. This is a very futuristic, elaborate costume that, by the way, you better hope it starts cooling down, because even though it's not terrible right now, that thing can't breathe well.
No, I can't imagine there's a lot of airflow in that thing. But I do appreciate his commitment.
Oh, you got to want it. You got to absolutely want it to show up in that thing. Like, that is committing to the bit.
Well, and I'm also wondering, did he maybe stop by a convenience store on the way over? Did he have to stop to get out and pump gas or something on the way over? Are you at the gas pump, rocking the Power Ranger outfit? Or you just walk in and get a pack of Skittles in the Power.
I appreciate it. Everyone to each their own. And that's okay. That's a big fan doing that. That's pretty awesome. Maybe the white part should have been yellow. But yeah, so that's something else. That's something else. I'll tell you that. Brian Smith says, serious question. Is Jimmy G's arm stronger than Purdy's? That's a good question. Neither one don't have a really good deep ball. I think Jimmy Garoppolo has got a little bit stronger arm when it goes into the numbers, but it's not much. Yeah, that's a good question. ASG says, I think the Rams are just being extra careful with their $40 million quarterback. Yeah, that's what they were saying, too, that we're being careful. They even said that themselves. That's a great take. Brian Smith says, has anyone here been to SoFi and Raiders Stadium? My Niners buddy said he thinks Raiders Stadium is better. I have heard, I have a hard time believing now. So the Niners, buddy, said the Raider Stadium is better. Now, there's no way that the Raider Stadium is better. It's a nice stadium. It's new. SoFi Stadium's got a lake out in the front. It's not even done. They're going to have entertainment venues all around. The YouTube theaters out there. The stadium inside is the Raider Stadium is nice though, but the SoFi Stadium, it's got a canopy. It's an awesome stadium. They both are. And then we got the oval Oculus, the eighth wonder of the world. You can see underneath it in the inside and the outside if you're up top high. I wouldn't say that, but to each their own, you know. But it's interesting that a Niner fan told you that because they love SoFi. They love to go to SoFi Stadium. I'm actually surprised that a Niner fan is propping up the Raider Stadium because they love coming to SoFi. They love coming to training camp too, boy. I tell you, just something about they hate us because they ain't us. Brian Smith says I live in LV and go to UNLV games. It's plain. It's nice, you know. It's a brand new stadium. It's nice on the inside. It's got the torch for Al Davis. There's nothing wrong with it, but you can't really compare it to me. And even if I was a Ram fan, I'd be like, that's a pretty nice stadium, whoever stadium this is. But yeah, it's a new stadium. It's really nicely done. But no, SoFi is something else, boy. It's crazy how we're just so lucky as Ram fans to every one of our home games, unless we go to Australia or overseas, we get to see them there. Yeah, I don't know what happened to my labeling. Okay, so let's do Stetson Bennett was deal. Oh, here we go. I think this is a Les Snead clip. Let's just look at Les Snead clip I got from I believe it's Alan Sales, my guy Alan Sales on Twitter. Props to him. Most of these clips are from him. Here we go. That's cool to see AD, man. AD in the house. I love it. I love it. I love it. AD in the house. And then also too, Stetson Bennett's been dealing, man. Stetson Bennett, like I told you, the talk of the town, talk of the camp is Stetson Bennett's dealing, doing his thing. I'm going to show you a one-handed snag he threw to Davis Allen. Him and Davis Allen and our guy OJ Willie Bones guys, Xavier Smith. They have a good chemistry together. Let's get into some Stetson Bennett, baby. Let me pause it and set this up here. A little sluggish here. Here we go. That was Stetson Bennett, right? Hold on. I got the right clip. Let's see. Hold on. But like Red Fox in the Harlem Nights. You got your glasses on. All right, here's Stetson Bennett to Davis Allen. I know for a fact this one's Stetson Bennett. All right, here we go. Let me pause it and cue this up. All right, here we go. Set this up, and here we go. Nice grab, Davis Allen. So the wide receiver room, the Rams wide receiver room is very, very deep. this year with Big Rig and Terrence Ferguson and Davis Allen still doing his thing. Yes, indeed. Yeah, AD is looking swole, baby. That's one thing about AD is he will always be in shape. Yes, indeed. Duval Love, name from the past. Duval Love, baby. Irv Pankey, old school, old lineman. Yep. Oh, Willie Bone to come up with a good one. Jimmy G's warming up. All right, let's see. All right, here's big Kevin Dotson. God bless you, Pittsburgh Steelers, for Kevin Dotson and Witherspoon. And here's Kevin Dotson talking about Big Brandon Fisk. Here we go.
He's one of the guys that, like he just asked, you give him that information of what he's doing, he changes it the next play. It's not going to happen again, and he likes to just transform himself. Even from last year, he was more of a wild kind of guy in his rush. Now he has more tempo, thinking about what he's going to do before he does it. And he's just a smart guy. So he just keeps building on top of what he did last year, and you can feel it.
You could feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And then here he is on Kevin Dotson, the Bully Ram. Remember that game against the Niners at Levi Stadium, a.k.a. SoFi North, when he was pinning all them Niners. Oh, that was a wonderful game, man. It was a slow game. What did we win? 12-9, 12-6. Single-handedly, Cardi, like it's 1999, beat the Niners by. We didn't even need to score a touchdown. He beat him by himself, our kicker.
Nice. Hey, he's strong. Lower to the.
Oh, sorry. Our guy Dotson's going to talk about Puna Ford, the addition of Puna Ford, baby.
Hey, he's strong. Lower to the ground, but he still has twitch. He's still heavy, so it's a great combination of what you really want from a D tackle. Great in the run block, surprisingly quick in the pass. So it's like he has everything.
What is my guy? Hold on. What the heck's going on with the video? When I try to pause it and go back, it gets stuck. Okay, so that's just a quirk with my stream restream. I wanted to. Oh, come on. Come on.
Nice. Hey, he's strong. Lower to the ground.
There we go. I don't know what happened. I just reset it. Sorry about that. Uh, Let me know if you guys can hear me now. I see myself now. I don't know what happened, but yeah, just like where we at? Stockton was talking about. Never thought that Rudy was going to have to root for Jimmy Garoppolo, but it is too. But as Ram fans, what I was trying to say was, we would be like, where did that come from when he made good throws against us? I mean, we had Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. I'm talking about the regular season games. That last game of the season, um, that one year, and we needed to beat him to make the playoffs, and then he threw a deep pass against us at Levi, and he, basically that helped knock us out of the playoffs, and but then he'd play a team like the Browns and stink it up, like, well, where was that against us? We had a way better team, and how's he doing that against us? Crazy, 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 crazy. But yeah, I don't know what happened. I clicked on something and it went back off. But anyway, I'm still learning this. I used to do StreamYard, which was worse, and then now I'm doing Restream. So thank you guys, appreciate you. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny says it's frozen. Bryce Smith says the Niners can't draft for Shishi. They have a couple of good guys. There's one guy, CJ West. I like him. I like Pooney, except when he plays us, he's kind of a little in over his head at times. But you can't really fault him for that because we have a really good D line. The other guy they drafted, who else? I don't know about Ricky Pearsall, the NASCAR driver. He's fast, but he's always hurt. Mikael Williams. He's a better inside presence, though. He even said that he doesn't like being an outside presence. Kenny says Mac Jones was forced to put the Patriots on his back, not his fault. Yep. Mustard says no sound. The sound is back, right? Yeah, we're good, right? Yep. Thank you. I saw that earlier. Thank you, my guy, Mustard. Appreciate you, brother. Mustard says, LA, we have a problem. Turk is waving. Lance was an excellent pick. It meant 3 picks. 3 picks, baby. 3 picks. 3 number 1 picks. They used the 2 picks to move up, and then they used the other third one on him. Crazy. Brian Smith says, Mac is more dangerous than Noodle on Purdy. Shock42 says, Trey Lance will sign with McVay next year. LOL, green face smiling. I like to kid around. I'm like, Brock Purdy's destiny, your destiny, is to be the Rams' backup quarterback, whoever's starting in a couple years, like Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, man. Brian Smith says the Vaginers did okay with the high draft picks this season. That's it. Yeah, I like Wade West. I like McCall. And what is up with the kicker? You got to be a horrible kicker if Jake Moody beats you. So they waived the kicker they brought in to take his job from him. And I'm glad he's there. I'm glad he's there. Kenny 49ers says, you only think that because you don't watch college football, Brian. Oh, good point. Well, for me, like, I'm a USC Trojans fan, Kenny. So there's a lot of teams that I'm not sure about. I look at the highlights. It's not the same following them and looking them play against your team. And so a lot of times I refer to somebody else that follows college football, because people that play fantasy leagues and stuff like that, they know better than me. But usually it could take a couple games and I can see, the eye test. Like, that the guy's pretty good. All right, let's get into another clip. I think this is the clip with when Aaron Donald came to I think this is it, when Aaron Donald came to camp and Jared versus, oh hell no! If you guys remember, I just got to show this clip again. With Jared Verse was playing around because that training, that challenge that he did, the workout challenge, and he was like, man, this is funny. Hold on. Let me pause it and reselect up. Here we go. Here we go.
Remember when you came over and you just tried to leave?
How you doing? Good, how are you?
Man, can you imagine AD back in the house, baby? My nephew got a bunch of autographs, man, and I wish I could have gone this year. He happened to go when Aaron Donald was there, and he got some stuff signed. Brian Smith says, Moody is my favorite kicker, especially with the game on the line. Yeah, man, it's crazy. That guy, and it's a team game, but it could be easily said that he was one of the reasons that cost the Niners that Super Bowl, because they went to overtime and they scored 19 points, man. He would have made that kick. Maybe the Kansas City Chiefs would have got a 2-point conversion. SM says, Rudy, what are your thoughts on Kyrie's extension? I got you. We got to see how he does. I like Kyrie Williams. I think he's a great player. I like how he came to camp. I like how he's with the we, not me. He understands that running backs don't make a lot of money unless you're Saquon Barkley, unless you're a Henry. He wants to get a ring and be in LA with. You're already with a contending team with the Sean McVay, Les Snead, Stan Kroenke. You're in Los Angeles, the West Coast, the gem franchise on the West Coast, the NFL gem franchise of the West Coast. Where would you want to go, right? So he played it smart. He didn't hold in or hold out, and he's trusting his ability. Now, had he not put the ball on the rug at Philly last year, it's a different conversation. We probably get to the championship game. We may be champions again. Because if he doesn't put the ball on the rug, that takes 3 points away from them. And we're already at the Eagles 13. We could have run a couple more plays instead of having to, who knows? Same thing with Matthew Stafford, but he fumbled too in the regular season against the Eagles. Had he not put the ball on the turf, we would be having a different conversation when it comes to his extension. But we do have Jarquez Hunter, the speed burner, the game-breaking was running back, Blake Corum, who got hurt at the end of the playoffs last year. He's going to get a shot. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with this running back crew. Flacco, how you doing, brother? Checking Rumstedo style. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you, Flacco. Kenny says, rarely are young kickers great. It's just football history. Yeah, that's true. It's hard to find a kicker sometimes. I'm so thankful that we got Josh Carty, like it's 1999, man. Our kicker, I love our kicker. SM says, reports are Hunter and Corum have looked good. Yes, man. Hunter, woo, man. I'm so stoked with that speed he has, man. He has to do it at the pro level. But and Blake Corum, basically Blake Corum is a similar running back to Kyrie Williams. So if we weren't going to extend Kyrie Williams, we have Blake Corum and Jarquez Hunter if he does anything. But running backs can be attained if you're not a game breaker, big game breaking speed. As the Niners have proven with like a plethora of different running backs. Flacco says, LOL, security was supposed to keep him away. Keep AD away from him. Yeah, man. AD is something else, man. SN says, AD passed the torch to Verse. Yes, indeed. V8, baby. V8. Kenny says, injuries are why we lost the Super Bowl, not a missed kick, but the fringe football fans, that's what it might have looked like. Well, no. For sure, injuries helped. It's a little of both. Injuries always mess you up from where you want to go, for sure. But CMC putting the ball on the carpet, Brock Purdy missing 2 open guys in the end zone. One was more open than the other, an easier throw. Um, uh, Kittle joking around with his defender, and then when CMC fumbled, he wasn't ready to jump on the ball, and his man got the ball when CMC fumbled. Trent Williams crapped the bed in the beginning drive. 2 straight horrible calls that derailed that drive. Kyle Shanahan allegedly not knowing the rules of overtime and taking the ball. It's just crazy. It's not just the kick, but kick, that's 1 point. If he makes it, that's 20. And so and it's simple math, if the Chiefs finish with 19 and the Niners had that 20, they win. That's all. SM says, Cardi clears Moody by a lot. We're just thankful and blessed to have Cardi, man. I'm so thankful. Because we went through our kickers before, remember? We had Dicker in there, and I don't even remember the other guys. We were bringing everybody. Hey, Frank Corral, you can still kick, right? Mike Lansford, you got one more kick in you? You got a couple more kicks in you? Legatron. Brian Smith says, Rudy, what are your thoughts on Jarquez Hunter? I love him. Fast. I got to see it at the pro level. He's a game breaker. He's something that we haven't had that type of speed on the field since Todd Gurley. I'm not comparing him to Todd Gurley. And happy belated birthday. I posted on my community post to Todd Gurley. His birthday was recently. I think it was yesterday or the day before, to the great Todd Gurley, Rams legend. I think the only way he beats out Rivers is he can play special teams as well as Rivers. Yeah, I think Rivers is a great veteran presence, but I think as the season goes on, I think that he'll get more plays. But you're right, the roster spots. But I would rather have Jarquez Hunter than Rivers, because the other 2 guys kind of cancel Rivers out, in my opinion. Kenny says, you guys only give the ball to Kyrie. Yeah, he's our workhorse, but we do have a deeper roster that a lot of people don't really realize with Rivers and Corum, but also now with this kid Jarquez Hunter. He has to prove it in the pros, but he's going to be really good. It looks like it. Yeah, injuries do suck, man. I'll tell you that. Kenny says, you'll find out if Staff goes. Yeah, for sure, man. We've already found that out when he's out. But he's the engine that makes the engine go, man. That's like the Lakers back in the day, the Showtime Lakers. If Magic Johnson went down, it's not as bad as that, because we have some players that can still get us to the playoffs, most likely. Right on the fringe of that, if we win the games that we're supposed to with their backup quarterback. The Lakers, they would maybe make the playoffs without Magic, maybe not, because they were geared for him to be Showtime. But, who knows? I'm glad we didn't have to find out, though. Kenny says, CMC and I forgot about the muff punt. I forgot about the muff punt. Yeah, man, mistakes suck. Were the other reasons, but the missed kick wasn't what did us in. All of them, but I'm just saying, just because it's 1 point, man. If you guys would have had 20, that would have made a big deal. But they're both great points, all of it. Yeah, any negative against your team and you lose an overtime, it sucks. Bryce Smith says, vagina fans have excuses for everything. You guys are funny. Some says, Kenny Wright, you'll find out how pedestrian Purdy is if CMC goes down again. That's one thing about Jimmy Garoppolo. And this fucking stool hurts my butt. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have the benefit of playing with CMC when he went to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy did, and CMC, it took a Herculean effort by CMC. He was like in the MVP conversation all year for them to make the Super Bowl. And he almost gave it up a couple times, man. That game against the Green Bay Packers, they were at home. Imagine if that was in Green Bay. The game against the Lions were whipping that ass. And then Jared Goff just has a dark cloud over his head because it wasn't all his fault. But they stopped scoring, and then one guy fumbled, and then Brock Purdy was trying to give the ball away, throwing the ball right into the defender's hands or helmet. The ball bounced off his head right into Ayuk's hand at the 2-yard line. Oh man, yep. Shot 40 says Jacoski Tart Rams legend. Brian Smith says Shani is notorious for choking important games away. Yeah, man. Even with the and I was rooting for Kyle Shanahan's Falcons against the Patriots. Kenny has a good point here. Actually, Shanahan just had a really bad record against 3 DCs again. That's only something. That's something someone who really pays attention. He has a really bad record against the Schwartz, Jimmy Schwartz. But either way, it just happens to be. I mean, you really can't fault him for losing to McVay in the NFC Championship game. You can't fault him for losing to Andy Reid twice in the Super Bowl and Mahomes. But yeah, that's kind of just bad luck on that part. But I know the McVay one really hurts him because they're buddies. Flacco says our tight ends going to fire. Our tight ends are going to be fired. Davis Allen, Tyler Higbee, Terrence Ferguson. Kobe Parkinson better suit up. Yeah, I forgot about Kobe Parkinson. He's made a couple of plays here and there, but his job may be gone. Yep. One cut around says, "Orale Kenny, VCR cheap." The Escalator Gang. Kenny's being good in here. Appreciate you, Kenny. We're just teasing. Oh, see, there you go. So props to Kenny. That's why Kenny don't even get mad. Kenny says, I've seen every Super Bowl. I don't get mad because we don't win a Super Bowl. There it is. Props to you, Kenny. You're the one guy, Niner fan, that I appreciate because what kills me is the guys that never seen one. And they're like, we got 5 Super Bowls. Dude, did you see one? Aren't you 22 years old? But so, yeah, props to Kenny. So he's just like me when people talk about the Lakers. You guys, like the Warriors fans talking about the Lakers. I'm like, dude, I've seen all kinds of championships. So there you go. OG Kenny. Appreciate you, Kenny. Brian Spencer, doesn't sound like it to me. No, well, listen, I'm with Kenny on this one for a second. That you've already like we won 2 Super Bowls in one in 99 and then 2021 gave away the 2001 Super Bowl against the Spygate Patriots, gave away another one in 2018 against the same guy, Tom Brady. But I hate losing Super Bowls, and I know Kenny does too, but he's seen some before. But it is frustrating because you're all stoked. You got your food ready. You got your jersey on. You're looking around and make sure you got your decorations and stuff up. And then to be let down, man, I'm going to tell you, the worst, Kenny, the worst, and my Ram brothers in here and sisters will tell you that too. 2 of the worst losses in Super Bowl for us is the 2001 Super Bowl against Tom Brady with the Greatest Show on Turf. Mike Martz didn't change no plays since we played them earlier in that year. Didn't use Marshall Faulk enough. The referees weren't calling nothing. They were grabbing and holding our receivers in the red zone, and we'd score field goals. And they got up to a lead. We almost came back. We tied it, and we lost. If we would have played that Patriots team 10 times, we beat them 9. So that one hurt. Then 2018, Cooper Kupp didn't play. Todd Gurley's knee was acting up. He was nowhere near the explosive player he was earlier in the year. And Jared Goff missed a couple of deep throws that were wide open. It was 3-3 going into the fourth quarter. I would have loved to have, since we didn't have Cooper Kupp, I would have loved to have Gronk not been there for Tom Brady. And then see, but Aaron Donald and the crew did their part. And I'll just say it like this. Had we had Matthew Stafford in 2018, by some miracle, we blow them out. Matthew Stafford is not going to go into a Super Bowl with 3 points into the fourth quarter. But he's a more seasoned quarterback. Jared Goff was in his third year, technically his second year because of Jeff Fisher stunning his growth in his first year. So yeah. But yeah, but at least you saw all 5, Kenny. Props to you, man. That's amazing. That's great, man. I have so much respect for Bill Walsh and Sean McVay's grandfather, who helped be one of the architect, and that's what made our guy Sean McVay the guy who he is. Being around those Eddie DeBartolo teams, being around those great players. That's why he's so good with our players. Grew up around great players, and so. Hey, it is what it is, man. McVay's grandfather was up in the Ring of Honor at Levi Stadium, and hopefully this year we can hold the Lombardi, and Sean McVay can point up to his grandfather's name and say, "This is for you, Grandpa," with his Rams Super Bowl champion cap on. Jock producer Jimmy G is a dog. Yeah, baby. I mean, listen, as much flack as he gets, he had a Super Bowl right there, man. It was on the cusp. If the defense could have held it for him, Now, Kenny has a point here, too. Kenny says our defense was Herculean when we had Jimmy G. He hasn't had that luxury. They were against the Packers. I remember, like, he didn't know how to do nothing. They blocked the kick, everything. But in that Super Bowl, he did enough to win, and they couldn't hold it. And Robert Saleh was the defensive coordinator. So yeah, but that's why I say it takes a team. Flacco says, Garoppolo better use this opportunity to shine. He's very capable to be the guy for us. I'm not doubting this guy, not one bit. No, he's a veteran. Remember, too, he was supposed to be, okay, let's just say it this way. Bill Belichick, who's a great Hall of Fame head coach, was going to ditch Tom Brady, and Jimmy Garoppolo was the future for the Patriots, right? But Robert Kraft looks at Tom Brady, and rightly so, like it's his son, and he didn't let him. So he went in the Niners. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan called in a favor. Let's flash back to 2017. The Niners were 1-10. Horrible. Levi Stadium was empty. I mean, all them Niner fans at SoFi Stadium, 99.9% of them didn't even show up to Levi Stadium. Between the 2015 and 2016 seasons, that stadium was empty. It was empty because they were horrible. Nobody, I mean, you couldn't give away Niner tickets, right? And so the faithful weren't so faithful after all. I don't blame them. I mean, to be hot in that lobster stadium and then to see a horrible football game, I don't blame them. But Jimmy Garoppolo was their savior. He was their Messiah. They won 5 straight games. They won their last game against us. We sat all of our regular season starters for the playoffs. And then they gave him that big contract, and they went to the Super Bowl and championship game, and Jimmy Garoppolo was one of the ones there, and he played good enough. That's all you can ask for. And but remember this, the Niners are the ones who made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's a backup for the Rams. So I like Jimmy Garoppolo with Sean McVay as his coach. If I had to pick Jimmy Garoppolo with Shanahan or Jimmy Garoppolo with McVay. Jack Fridges, Jimmy can win us games. Yep, that's all it's all about, baby. Kenny says, no, I follow Ramelia. Appreciate you, Kenny. Appreciate you, brother. Kenny's a good guy. Just rivalry sports, but I appreciate that Kenny saw all 5 Super Bowls because that chaps my hide when guys are saying, yeah, but we have this and that. Dude, you never even see. You saw one. Like, come on now. I mean, props to your franchise, but you didn't see them all. And the only reason why I bring up the NFL pre-Super Bowls because they think we only have one. They try to you guys only have one Super Bowl. I like, dude, your great grandpappy would have saw the Rams win a championship. And then when it's Super Bowl, they would have saw the Rams win a Super Bowl. And then they would have saw the Rams win another one in Los Angeles. We spread it out. Yes, Spags. That's right, Spags. And you know what's funny, Kenny, is we called Spags Spazzola because he was you know how we say Kyle Shanahan is a great offensive coordinator, but not a great head coach because of the personnel decisions and sometimes putting guys in the doghouse, the Cabo click, right? But then he's a great offensive coordinator, a great calling plays, right? Getting guys in the right positions to do well. Same thing with Spazzola, with Spags. He's a horrible head coach, and he's so bad that they fired him with the Rams. He was the Rams head coach, and he never wanted to do it again. He's that's not for me. But he's a hell of a defensive coordinator, man. And Schwartz, yes, Schwartz has a face that you want to sock in the jaw, man. And Flores, yep, isn't that something? Yes, indeed. Yep. When Kylie Ram says, Big Rig is passing the torch to Canelo Ferguson. Love it, baby. Yeah, Canelo Ferguson. So if you guys don't know what he's talking about, do I have that clip? Canelo Ferguson, aka Terrence Ferguson, is part. I don't know if he was Mexicano, but he's part Latino. Let's see if I have that clip. Did I clip it? Did I clip you? Please tell me I have it. Let's put that aside for a second. Here's our guy, Kobe T. Kobe T shaking his thing. I think this is at his wedding reception. I think. Here we go. I had to take the audio off. There's Kobe T. Do it, baby. There it is, Kobe T. Yeah, YouTube frowns on copyright music. Unfortunately, I got to go through my videos and get rid of a bunch of them so they'll set up my monetization. I don't really care about that, really. It would help, though, because then I can do prizes and stuff. But I want to be different. Like, I don't want everyone does just talking, and I want to do clips and be our, like they can do on Instagram. Why can't you do a video with copyrighted music on Instagram, but you can't on YouTube? Let's see. Do I have that clip? No, I don't. Dang it. But anyway, so he's part Latino, Ferguson. Let me see. Do I have it? That's why he's saying Canelo. No, I don't have it. Sometimes I put clips on my phone and then I transfer them over. That's probably what I did. But yep, indeed, baby. Kenny says, we don't get mad when we lose to the greatest team in our generation. We were the team that everyone would lose to. Again, when we win 5 Super Bowls, the pendulum swings another way. That's a great comment. I'm going to tell you one thing, Kenny. I understand that comment because the 89 and 85 Rams lost to two of the great teams in like you were saying, in NFL in a generation. The 85 Rams in the middle of the Niners dynasty got to 2 NFC championship games with John Robinson, the great legendary head coach John Robinson. The 85 Bears beat the Rams in the championship game at Soldier Field in bad weather with Eric Dickerson carrying the load. We had to beat the 85 Bears to get to the Super Bowl. And then the 89 Rams went to Philadelphia, Reggie White and Jerome Brown, beat them, went to New York with Bill Belichick as a defensive coordinator, beat them in overtime with LT and Carson Banks and all those guys, only to have the Rams offensive line beat up because of those wars to face a rested Niner team at Candlestick. The Rams still took the lead 3-0. They were about to take a 10-point lead when Ronnie Lott knocked the ball out of the air, and the offensive line couldn't keep them off Jim Everett. And so we basically had to win 3 straight Super Bowls it was either going to be the Rams or the Niners to get to the Super Bowl and beat up on the Broncos. because you know what's weird is, as great a player as John Elway was, like one of my favorite rounds was Jim Everett. As great as Jim Everett was, when we had the good team around him, we would always split with the Niners. Anytime you had a Jim Everett, you had a chance. Imagine John Elway in the NFC West, the way that his Broncos got their ass kicked by the Niners. Imagine him in the NFC West. Like, would they have been good? He would have made some plays, and he's a great player. Eventually, probably would have got better, the team around him. But I always like, what Jim Everett held Jim Everett held his own, man. And but yeah, we had to play the 85 Bears, the 89 Rams, and the 89 Rams were beat up by the time we got to the because in the regular season we split. We almost swept the Niners. We split. Joe Montana pulled a comeback out of his ass on Monday Night Football. But it was either going to be us or them to beat the Broncos in the Super Bowl. Flockers, I have the feeling Tuta was going to light up the field. Yes, indeed, baby. We've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for him to break out and keep coming. Bryce Mrs. Kenny certainly gets mad at losing. Kenny seems like he's good, but yeah, I get mad at Super Bowls too. But I know you guys are messing with Canelo Ferguson. I love it. One Cali Ram. When Christ says this channel don't hate, horns up, Ken. This channel don't hate, horns up, Kenny. Tape cheap wagon leaves in September. Kenny's a good guy. He's been cool while he's been in here. Appreciate Kenny. Let's see. We have to rib Kenny because the damn Niners were getting us in the regular season, man. Like 6, 7, 8 times in a row. He's getting annoyed. And then you had Jared Goff making the same stupid decisions, and we'd lose to Chris Mullins. If Chris Mullins, Bryce Smith says, Kenny, we got to be nice, guy. Be nice. Penny's being a good guy. Bryce says, you're not an investigator, that's for sure. SM says, Super Bowl losing streak, either way, no matter the cope. Yeah, man, 3 straight Super Bowls is tough, man. It's tough. Bryce Smith, those are 2 different sentences that also reveals your... Bryce Smith says, yes, indeed, as Rudy would say. Thank you, appreciate you. Flacco says, who the heck is Mark Redman? He was one of our tight ends we just signed. Good question. Let's look for it. Good question. I see it. He's a rookie. 6'5", 255. Bio. Nothing. We have a lot of tight ends. What's going on? Is he okay, here he is. Here it is. This is from Mark Redman. Is he still on the roster? That's from May. Roster, Redman. I'm just seeing something from May. I don't know if he's on the roster anymore. He's an undrafted. Very much information about it. It has a mind of its own. I'll have to look into that, man, because I haven't heard any. Brian Smith wasn't Redmond in camp with us a year ago. I saw something from May with him, and that was about it. Kenny Rogers. Kenny 49er says Jimmy has more than one ring. Yeah, with the Patriots. Yeah, UDFA in May. That's the only thing I could bring up from him. I'm not sure if he's still on the roster. Most likely he is. I don't know if he's playing. He doesn't come to mind. I haven't even paid attention to him if he is there. Danish Berry Sports says, "How you doing, brother? Hey everyone, happy Monday. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Hey Flacco. Kenny says, do you think Bill Patrick will do well? Man, I don't think so, man. He's a great coach, but he's a little older in the tooth. Great coaches don't need to be young, but I think he's kind of distracted with that young with that young girlfriend, man. It's weird. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be very good. Spazzola, yep. And let me give a shout out to somebody here. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I didn't realize that I had mentioned Todd Gurley's birthday. So I want to give a shout out to legendary Ram Todd Gurley. His career was cut way too short, man. I wish we would have the explosive Todd Gurley in the Super Bowl in 2018 instead of somebody that we had to get C.J. Anderson off the scrap heap to help run the ball in the playoffs with him. But props to Todd Gurley. Great player, man. The guy was amazing. And then I want to give a props to our linebacker, Nate Landman. The guy, hold on. The guy is the talk of camp, man. He's one of the players the talk of camp. He's around the ball. He punches the ball out. We finally have a decent linebacker since Ernest Jones. And he's just around the ball. Excuse me. He's just around the ball. He knows how to punch the ball out. He's a leader on the field. He's got to turn some heads in camp. And so looking forward to him and also the other guys rotating around him. We still got Troy Reader there, Omar Spates, undrafted Sean Dolick. I can't wait to check him out. Chris Paul Jr., Pooh Paul. It's a different Rams team. Now, Saquon Barkley's got a lot more to deal with this year. There's not going to be like some inexperienced only linebackers now. We're going to have an experienced guy. See, a guy like this can plug a hole and make Saquon Barkley turn in or turn out, maybe dive out in front of him and the other guys come gang tackle him, swarm to the ball. We have a better chance of limiting. You don't stop a Saquon Barkley, but you can limit him like the Kansas City Chiefs did in the Super Bowl, even though they still lost. Let's see. Jacques Vertus says, we are all the tank for Khalib Ram fans now. He's struggling really. Yeah, but imagine with McVay though. I mean, people struggle with the Bears for sure. But he beat us. I'm just going by his USC days. Yeah, Kenny says Sean McVay's grandfather was a key figure. Yeah, he was his papa, his grandfather was one of the key architects in the Niners, in the executive of the Niners, and McVay, grandfather McVay. How you doing, Tribe? Jacques Fortu, what's up, big dog? Love it. GM, yes, indeed. Got you, I got you. Bruce, click. Kenny says, Tribe says, Kenny gave up. He's got to watch SpongeBob. Kenny's been cool. He's been cool, and he's been asking stuff, and he's a good dude. What Carson says, the bus started his career in Candlestick. Oh, here we go. Brian Smith says Redmond signed $2.9 million 3-year undrafted free agent contract. Damn. I just saw something since May, so we'll come back to that. Because I haven't heard anything else except for today on him. I know about Omar Spates from last year. I know about Sean Dolick, undrafted free agent. I know about Chris Paul Jr. And so Redmond, I might have seen him before, but I don't think he's really going to be too much in their plans. I haven't heard any talk about him in camp. But I'll get back to you on that. I'll find out more information about him. SM says, Rudy, there's a lot of good reports. Yeah, man. In camp, he's killing it. He's killing it. Flacco says, yeah, he's on the roster. Just signed. Okay, cool. In August. Doesn't say the date, though. Okay. So he is on the roster. I don't think they're going to keep so many linebackers. We'll see. Maybe practice squad. Wayne Clarence says, Buenas noches, mi Ramilia. Horns up. Yes, indeed, baby. Appreciate you. Kenny says, Rudy, how are you going to do against the big three on your schedule? Philly, Baltimore, Detroit. Philly is the one that's circled on the calendar because we want to match up with them and we owe them. They beat us in the regular season and they beat us in the damn playoffs. We now have some better linebacking core. We're more explosive. Matthew Stafford has to be there. Baltimore, they're a little bit. We a couple of years ago we played with them on. We played with them on par with them, I should say. We played on par with them in Baltimore, lost in overtime. It's always tough chasing Lamar Jackson, and then with Detroit, we owe them, man. They've gotten us. We beat them the first year we played them. Since Goff and Stafford were traded, we beat them that first year we played. And then since then, they beat us in regular season and the playoffs. And then by the hair on the chinny chin chin. But now with the different coordinators that they lost, and it's a different team now, they're maybe having a Super Bowl hangover. Well, they didn't get to the Super Bowl, but in the hunt for a Super Bowl hangover, because it's very tough to get there, almost get there. You're expected to get there, you don't. Kenny says, there we go. Tampa may be tough. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, I like him. Yeah, they may be tough. SM says, last free agency was a miss by the Rams, apart from Cam Curl, but this free agency is looking very promising with Adams, Ford, and Landman. Yes, indeed, baby. For sure. I love that. Yeah, I expect us to at least win 2 of the 3. The Ravens, for me, is the wild card. We're weird against the Ravens. Rubio says, bang, bang, y'all shooting nothing but water guns. Rubio says, we're better than Santa Clara. And Kenny says, it's hard to keep track of what city the Rams are in year to year. Now, we've been in Los Angeles more than any other city, but we kind of like to spread the championship love all wherever we go. We were in Cleveland, won them a championship. We went to St. Louis, won them a championship. We went to Cleveland, won them a championship. Let me do it in order. We were in Los Angeles, won a championship at the LA Coliseum. Went to St. Louis, won the Super Bowl at St. Louis, and then we came back to Los Angeles and won another Super Bowl. We like to spread the love, the championship love. Brian Smith, looks like Redmond's UDFA contract only includes $20K in guaranteed money, so it probably will be cut. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Kenny. Brian Smith says, is it me or Kenny is in dire? Now, Kenny's just having fun. Oh, man, this stool has no padding. Hold on. Appreciate you, Kenny. Let's see. Oh, here's what do you guys think about this cap? This is a sideline gear cap. What do you think? Remember I was telling you, don't forget my gear is coming out this year. I promise you. This is not mine. I should probably take this off. I'm not claiming that one, but my gear is coming out for my channel and for you guys, a way to wear some cool gear that has to do with our team and my channel. And also stuff that you can't see anywhere else, find anywhere else. Stuff that I like, I like to have stuff on the sleeve. I like to have nice lettering and a cool pick, nice colors. And, but so that's coming soon. But this cap, we got a sneak peek of it, or it showed up on social media, and I want to just bring it to you. It's a clean, plain, ordinary cap. It's okay. I'm not a big fan of it. What do you guys think? But yeah. So, what do you guys think about that? I just wanted to show you. I saw it. I was like, yeah. It looks like a Bob the Builder cap. Let's see. You guys are funny. Oh. Well, Kenny, let me just tell you one thing. Nobody can take away nothing from the Niners' Eddie DeBarlo Jr. days. But they were very fortunate that the team that usually would split with them during the heyday of Bill Walsh, that Carol Rosenblum passed away. And the woman who shall be nameless was the Rams owner while the Niners were winning those Super Bowls. Because if Carol Rosenblum was the owner still back then, remember they had got to the Super Bowl against the Steelers? He died that year in 79. A couple years later, in comes Bill Walsh and Eddie DeBarlo Jr., right? If he was still alive, he would have been building his team to be better. You wouldn't have had a Wendell Tyler or a Hacksaw Reynolds, former Rams, to help the Niners get over the hump. You would have had the Rams keeping those players and building their rapport, making it harder for the Niners to win all those championships. So, in a way, and then it was hard for the woman who shall be nameless to do anything with John Shaw running the show, basically her GM at that time, allegedly running the show. And so, even though despite that, they went to 2 championship games in the middle of the Niners' heyday, had we had an owner like a Carol Rosenblum instead of the woman who shall be nameless, we would have dipped into that. So probably, or at least won in Los Angeles, because that 89 team, we just needed a couple players to get over the hump, baby. We were right there. The 88 team with Jim Everett, we would have never traded Eric Dickerson if you had a Carol Rosenblum. So things happen. It's just like now. The Niners went from Eddie DeBarlo Jr. to the Yorks, and it's a different team. They can't win. They've been close, but they can't win because other factors, but the owner's not the same. So there's that. But you can go to almost any decade, and the Rams were either in the championship game or won a Super Bowl, won a championship. In the 40s, won NFL championship 45. In the 50s, won a NFL championship 51. In the 60s, the fearsome foursome got to the championship game, got deep in the playoffs. The 70s went to Super Bowl in 79. In the 80s, 2 championship games in 85 and 89. In the 90s, won the Super Bowl in 99. In the 2000s, won the Super Bowl 2001. Won the Super Bowl 2021. All right. But anyway, I don't care about that stuff. I just care about the most recent ones. That we won the last 2 between the 2 franchises. My guy Saka says secondary, and yet here you are running. He's just having fun. But I appreciate Kenny. At least Kenny Stockton. At least Kenny, though. I don't know if you were here earlier. He saw all 5 Super Bowls, so props to him. Not like some of the other guys. Let's see. Here's a cool pick here. Let's see. Hold on. The dynamic duel is back again. Man, can you imagine AD with Verse, Fisk, Young, Puna Ford. Woo-wee! Let's see. Do-do-do-do. Tonight is your night, bro. Oh, no wonder. I'm all looking for a picture and I have it on video. Here's a cool pic here too. From camp. Fisk, AD, Kobe T, Kobe Turner. Love it, love it, love it. So I sent you an article, Rudy. Check it out. I'll check it out. Bryce says, Rudy, we're having fun too. Let's not make Kenny out to be a good guy. No problem, man. No problem. I just appreciate that Kenny's not being unruly. I haven't seen all of his comments, but I appreciate it. Flacco says, hit the like, people. Appreciate you. Yeah, hit the like, guys. I forget to do it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Yes, indeed, baby. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Hold on. All right. Let's go to the catch of the day today. You saw the one-handed grab by Davis Allen from Stetson Bennett. Let's see. Where's the catch of the day? Let's see. Hold on, guys. Hold on. And earlier today, I was on Twitter, and there was one Niner fan, and props to him. You know, he's a big Niner fan, and he doesn't particularly like that I make fun of the Niners. And so he says that I'm a Niner fan because I make fun of the Niners, right? And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I be a Niner fan? And I tell you this all the time, that I enjoy making fun of the Niners. That doesn't make any sense, but he thinks it's going to stop me from making fun of the team. And so I said, man, come on the show today. We can talk about it. I'll explain to you how and why I'm not a Niner fan. And I told him, and we agreed, you know, hey, it's not going to be nothing bad. It's just like, I'm not going to trick him to coming in here and being super jacked up to him. And so he says, well, I'll do everything I can to come in, and he's not here. And okay, whatever, it's fine. But come on now. I mean, you couldn't come in for 2 minutes. But yeah, so hold on. I'm looking for that catch of the day. Here it is. But props to you, brother. Like I said, I was just going to explain to him how I feel, and I was actually going to talk about our teams. What do you think about the injuries you've had and the chance that you have against the other teams? Real talk, not just, you know, me telling him how I don't like his team. So it's just kind of funny that, you know, it didn't show up today. All right. No problem. No big deal. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. So here's the catch of the day. Puka Nacua tipping the ball to himself. Hold on. Let me cue it up. Looking a little jagged. A little. Here we go. Puka Nacua, baby. I hate how they show those clips and they take the sound away. It's just like silence. What are you doing? And then talking about the Madden, the horrible Madden Rams player, except for AD. Hey, baby. Except for AD, they would give us justice, especially Stafford. There's a little clip about the guys talking about the Madden Rams ratings or Madden ratings. Here we go.
Madden ratings came out. Do you think Devontae being a 90 is disrespectful?
Devontae Adams.
Let me cue this up. Hold on.
Madden ratings came out. Do you think Devontae being a 90 is disrespectful?
Devontae Adams should be a 100.
Yes, because he's 9 short of what his overall rating should be. Come on, let's figure it out, Chad.
Between the two of you, who has a higher speed rating?
Higher speed rating?
You know that.
We're talking like get off the ball, like overall speed.
Overall speed.
Probably me. You ain't hitting no high numbers.
Highest trucking rating.
On Madden.
Me. But it probably could be Jaw. Did they figure out what he can do?
Nobody cares about your 40 time. Your 40 time was three years ago. Nobody gives a
Probably like a 85 maybe. You know,
94.
ooh, we are breaking tackles.
Nobody gives a damn about your 40 time.
What is it?
Nobody gives a damn about your 40 time.
What is it? What is it? Tell me what is it?
So Byron is faster.
What's it?
92.
What's mine?
89. What do you think Tutu Atwell's throw power rating is?
Whatever it is, I bet it's underrated because the dude can absolutely hum it.
I don't know, 58.
66.
Oh, he's not gonna like that. Probably about like a 65.
It's a 66.
I know myself.
What do you think Kevin Dotson's speed rating is on Madden?
Speed rating? Oh, wow. It has to be lower than mine.
Speed rating, 71.
Oh, 70.
I'm gonna say 75, but if I was really guessing, I'd say 80.
It's a 70.
70?
So there you have it. There you have it. So yeah, the Madden rating is off on a lot of Rams players over the years. AD is the only one that they've really ever got that right, the 99s. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. I appreciate you guys. Love each and one of you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. Hold on one second. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday, 7:05. Love each and one of you guys. Appreciate each and one of you guys. Hit the like or subscribe button on the way out. As we always say, may the Ramelia be with you. And Ramulators, mount up.